See the amount of smoke there. That's a construction site being prepared. There's an excavator on the extreme end there. Then there's this other tractor which is leveling up the area. But then the concern is on the amount of smoke that tractor is actually emitting. You can see the amount of pollution it's causing into the environment. It's quite a vast area, not extremely large though, but significantly vast area. It's a construction site. So that smoke is quite significant. The amount of damage into the environment, you can imagine that. So if you consider that it's the same tractor which has been doing work on all this area here and emitting that amount of smoke each and every time it rolls on that area, just imagine that. It can be quite significant. But then there's not much concern from the authorities responsible for environmental pollution. And even if they were concerned, then unless somebody reports that incident, most likely they will not know that that pollution is actually taking place, and therefore the likelihood that the culprit will be caught is very low. There are buildings coming up around the area. So on this other side here, you can see there are some construction workers there building a tunnel around that area. So that is a tunnel for water, and the project has been going on for quite some time now. They are trying to ensure that all the water doesn't cause any inconvenience to the buildings which will be coming up within the area. So you can see that the tunneling has been quite significant all the way from this side here. You can see the manholes, several manholes erected around the area, and the tunneling has been going on from around this area here. So this should be the first manhole, followed by this one, and then there's this one, and then there are some manholes around around this area joining up to this line and then proceeding downwards. Yeah, so it's quite a large area for a construction project. Not extremely large though, but it's quite significant. And that will go on towards another area down there where you're seeing people passing there. They'll be putting buildings in this area which is being excavated. But you can imagine the amount of pollution that's going on at this construction site. So if we had like 4 tractors of that kind billowing that amount of smoke on a daily basis, you can imagine how much of damage will be onto the environment. and of course that damage of course will end up with subsequent damage onto human life and even the other animals within the area. Birds in the air will be affected, cattle will be affected. You can see some people passing there at the extreme end there. You can see these people here. You can see these people here. They're most likely affected by this pollution, but then not much bother about it. If there were several tractors of that type, you can imagine the amount of polluted air that these people and residents of this area will be inhaling. But then yeah, there's not much concern for now. The authorities may not be aware that there's this level of pollution that is occurring in the environment. So once this area is leveled out, most likely there will be some huge buildings which will be erected in the area, possibly institutional buildings, maybe school buildings or some facility of that sort, but it's not a residential area, so we don't expect residential buildings here because this is within an institution area. The smaller residential areas are on the upper side there. You can see some of them spread out this way. This is an institution here. This one is an institution around here. So meaning that we expect another institution to come up around this area that is actually being excavated.